Who's in here? Hello, guys. I'm doing a very quick live. Um, we know that there was a closed hearing, and I want to talk about what potentially happened behind closed doors. Bear with me. This is going to be very, very brief. I'm like in a very little dark and dingy motel. I'm in Dallas, traveling for work, so it's going to be very, very brief. Anyway, the Goncalves family Facebook page, we know that that has been a memorial page that they basically started since the crime was committed, right? We know that in this Facebook page, they were talking a lot. And I am all about freedom of speech, especially it's a Memorial Day weekend. I'm a veteran. A lot of you guys are veterans, prior military. Freedom of speech. We love freedom of speech. We're big fans of freedom of speech. So, guys, look, we are getting a lot of hate. We're getting a lot of hate. By we, I mean people who are not 100% sure that Mr. Koberger committed this crime. I literally just went over to Reddit and saw a very angry Reddit thread regarding the Goncalves family page because, again, it's removed. I don't know what justification legally Facebook had to remove that page. Maybe they were violating some sort of Facebook policy. I don't know how Facebook really works. Haven't had Facebook in a long time. And again, if they didn't violate any sort of freedom of speech, honestly, in this one, if they did not violate anything, yeah, I'm going to side with the G family. Because again, if they were just talking about their daughter and the victims and whatever, very basic things, just a regular memorial page, yes, we're going to side with the G family whether we like them or not. Legally speaking, we have to side with them, especially if we are American patriots, right? Or if you just believe in freedom of speech. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if they were actually not violating anything regarding Facebook. Because let's be real for a second here. This is no hate. This is no shame to the Goncalves family. We are just speaking our truths, my opinion, my personal point of view. But from what I have seen, they don't have a good track record as far as keeping their ideas to themselves, and they've contradicted themselves heavily quite a bit. Were they spreading misinformation on their family page? Maybe. Were they spreading hate and bias on their family page? Maybe. Could they have been potentially impacting a future jury pool? Maybe. That being said, we know that there was a closed hearing. What happened behind those closed doors, only Judge Hippler and whoever was there know, right? But we have heard from previous hearings, and we saw that Judge Hippler was very upset. He's tired of the BS, or he pretends to be tired of the BS. What did Judge Hippler say? He basically called out the state and law enforcement and said, there's a leak. Who's the leak? Where is this leak coming from? And although he did give a copy of those same documents regarding leaks to the defense, to me, it seems like he was addressing law enforcement and the state. Where is the leak coming from? Could the leak potentially have been Steve Goncalves? Was this part of his crypto scam scheme, or part of his GoFundMe's, because as far as we know, he's gotten over $150,000 for, I don't know what he's going to be using this for. $150,000 is a lot for a trial. That being said, if people want to donate money to him, whatever, right? It's their money. But at the end of the day, I always think it's important people should ask questions, because this is a person that's a self-proclaimed millionaire. And now that we have their Facebook family page deleted, gone, boom, it just makes me wonder, is this an order that could have been coming from Judge Hippler? I think it's far more likely that it was an order coming from the court, basically, potentially having the G family remove this Facebook page, just for trial purposes. We know the trial is just a few weeks away. But it's also very possible that there were some Facebook violations, because from what I know, Facebook can't just remove things if you're not violating anything. So please let me know what you guys think. I just thought that was very interesting. Why did it get removed? Why do you think it got removed? The Goncalves family has always been a little bit strange, in my opinion, and although all families, all parents mourn differently, this is a family that has mourned very, very atypically. They have gone back and forth with the media. They have done interviews left and right. They have asked for so much money on their GoFundMe's that it just makes you wonder if there was a potential leak coming from that Facebook page that they were running. And some people have already asked me questions on Instagram. They're like, Nika, was this even a real Facebook account? Yes, it was a verified Facebook account that was allegedly ran by Stephen Christie, right? And it's my opinion that they were just talking too much. It is my opinion that since the early days, especially Steve Goncalves was saying way too much about the crime, was putting out false information, maybe some real information, out in the media way too early on. That should have been snipped. That should have been cut from the get-go. Judge Hippler, in my opinion, should have intervened much, much sooner. So I do find it's a little strange that he waited so long. Some people have also asked me, Nika, do you think that Judge Hippler is actually a good guy? Like, do you think he actually has some common sense and that's why he's, taking care of the situation now? I don't know. I have no idea. I think he's going to cover his behind. I think that's what he's going to do. Because at the end of the day, this is a massive case that has been going on for 2.5 years. We are just, 6 to 8 weeks away from the trial. If there is one thing Judge Hippler knows, is that the world is watching. We are watching. And we have recently, we have the word now that the trial is going to be live streamed. And that's great news. So yes, we are watching. And when you are in charge of the court and you know the world is watching, you better be doing everything right, Judge Hippler. As a judge, you definitely do not want to end up wrongly incarcerating somebody. I told the story of a man who was wrongly incarcerated, I believe, for 20 to 30 years. Isaac, what was his name? Isaac something. Basically, while this man was falsely incarcerated, he went to law school. He became a lawyer. He had a new trial. He proved his innocence after getting his law degree in jail. And then on top of that, guess what? And then on top of that, guess what? He incarcerated the freaking judge because he was able to prove that the judge was doing things he shouldn't have been doing, right? So that's great. That's great, guys. We know that Judge Hippler has ties all over the state. We know that Judge Hippler has sided with corrupt law enforcement in the past. I've talked about cases where he sided with the state, he sided with corrupt cops. But I think he's maybe starting to realize, oh, this is really big. Maybe I should do the right thing, or maybe I should cover my behind to at least pretend that I'm doing the right thing, so when, you know, it all blows up, then I can wash my hands and pretend that I did what I was supposed to do, looking cute with my little robe and gavel. And I'm just, this is just my opinion. At the end of the day, we really can't know until the trial begins. Then we will really be seeing Judge Hippler in action. But we've seen very little of him. I just wanted to come in here for a little bit and get your guys' opinion, because I just found out that this Goncalves family page was reported, was taken down. Was it a Facebook violation, or do you think that this was something that came out of the closed hearing? And Judge said, you know what? This might be a source of potential leaks. Let's end that right there, right now. Now, in the very angry Reddit thread that I just reviewed, there's a lot of hate for people who are open-minded, or people who call themselves pro-burgers. I don't consider myself a pro-burger or a guilter. I'm just kind of an in-between. I just want to see the evidence. I don't care who goes to jail, as long as it's the right person. But they're saying in these hate threads that it was the pro-burgers. It was the pro-burgers that reported the Goncalves family. It was the pro-burgers, and that all of us are horrible human beings, and that there's no reason that a memorial page should be taken down, that is horrific, that we have no soul. Because why would thousands of pro-burgers report a memorial page? I don't even know if it's true. I'm not watching anything. My husband had something on, and then I turned the volume down. Just playing in the background. He's watching something. Can you guys see him? He's all bundled up in bed there. Sorry, babe. And they're angry. The guilters see, oh my God, the family page of the Goncalves family has been removed. How are we going to communicate with them? That's our favorite family. And it must have been the pro-burgers that report them in troves, because they hate them. They hate the Goncalves family because they hate families that are trying to get over their trauma. They're trying to get over their trauma. No, bitch. Literally no.